like to drink Guinness with its creamy head. We ready to roll?
Ready to roll.
Never mind the noise. Chase the adventure.
Welcome to the Nevermind Adventure podcast, recording in Belfast, Northern Ireland. We're with Craig Williams, the poet from Perth.
G'day.
How you going, Craig? Have you got your speaker? Oh, you have. You've got it on your. You've got it on your. You've got it on your lapel.
Yeah.
Yep. Are we just recording? Okay, good. This is great. So we're 5 days, halfway through our inaugural motorcycle tour of Ireland.
Yeah. Bloody marvellous.
Are you enjoying it?
I really am. I've had a few mishaps along the way, which have made it a little bit, it's a few small disappointments, but it hasn't wrecked the brilliant feeling I've had of the trip. I've been enjoying it all.
So, mishaps. So, do you want to share? Would you like to give us a bit more detail on that?
Yeah.
Sure. Now you've got the punters wondering.
Now I've got the punters wondering. Well, yeah, it wasn't anything exciting like, running over a rabbit or getting a flat tyre or crashing anything.
Gate crashing a wake and requesting staying alive by the Bee Gees.
I wasn't there. I wish I had been.
Fucking animal.
For that part. No, just the embarrassment of getting home from the pub and discovering that night that I couldn't find my fucking Enfield keys.
Day one? Was it?
After the first ride. And I wasn't feeling too well anyway. Like I was I had a pretty severe cold coming on, so I wasn't sleeping that. I turned the whole bloody room. I turned my gear, I turned Rod's gear upside down in case I dropped the keys somewhere in his stuff. Yep. I was stressed out about it. I couldn't sleep because I was crook anyway, but I was stressed to the max about this bloody key and never turned up. I didn't know what happened to it. I walked all the way back to the pub as well that night to check it out. But thankfully we had someone else on the trip who'd already pulled out of the first part, so there was a spare bike in the van. And very lucky to have still been able to ride.
And we now have the key.
And the key got forwarded on, a spare key got sent to Belfast, so now we've got all bikes on board, so mishap avoided, but so...
You're a fucking idiot, Craig. Nah, I wasn't
Lesson
worried.
to be learned.
Did I look fucking stressed at all, mate?
You guys are fantastic and all that. Like you just go, that's the name of the company. Like Nevermind, you just go, oh, okay, we'll figure it out. Something will work out.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed in myself because I'm normally the guy who never loses keys. I think I sort of had that reputation before me, and it was just like, damn.
That's what they always say.
That's what they always say. Yeah, it's been. I've been brought down to earth with a tumble.
That's all right. We all need a kick in the nuts every now and again just to bring us back down to reality.
Yeah.
So, what's been the highlight so far? Like, what jumps out? What's someone halfway through the trip? You're like, what's the highlight?
There were lots of moments along just riding along the coast. There's bits where you just get to these wild, prehistoric looking cliffs and beaches and bays, and we have just had the most gorgeous weather, and I'm just riding with a massive fucking grin on my face. It's just so picturesque, and you can't stop and take a photo of it because it just like a single photo wouldn't encompass. It's just the beauty of it, but I'm really taking it all in. I'm just cruising back. I'm not the sort of rider who wants to get there anywhere in a hurry. I kind of like just tooling along really slowly, and I love just being able to look at everything. We just saw some gorgeous countryside. Yeah.
It's far more remote and rugged and wild than and empty, It's like, fuck, it feels big, like the landscapes are wide and vast and big and open, and it's like, fuck, it's not what people think, not what I thought it would be.
No, there's you'll see 12 sheep on a tiny space of a hill, and there's, one or two old stone farmhouses, and all the side roads we've been taking are only about as big for 2 motorcycles anyway. They're not
Yeah.
really built for cars, so they
No.
feel perfect for our sort of travelling.
Yeah.
And then once or twice we ended up at tourist spots where there'd be like 14 bloody tourist coaches, and
Yeah.
suddenly you realise there are thousands of tourists here. And
Yeah.
like,
But they're all funneled into the same places.
yeah, that we only did 2 of these places, and you sort of go, wow, like that's
Yeah.
the difference between our sort of touring and that's other type of touring where you have to queue up for everything. It's just so much nicer to have your own path.
Fucking coaches, they're not going to see shit, are they? Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like,
Oh well, the one coach that we did have, like we had to catch the coach from Dublin to Dublin to Limerick
yeah.
when we started before we got on the
Oh,
bus.
that was it, just us on
And
the
I
bus.
was already
Yeah.
car sick just from trying to look out the window. Like I hate
boring.
that. Yeah.
But bike's the way to go. And you don't need a big bike here, do you? Like, probably, like you're on a 350 and it's...
Yeah, which is smaller. I normally ride a 500. I
Yeah.
ride a Bullet Enfield, and I've got the 350, which feels much the same, but it's been perfect.
Yeah.
Need to drop down a gear
Oh.
to get up a couple of hills, or if
I've
you're
just had
heading
a
into the wind. But
Pint of Guinness delivered.
oh, look at that!
Cheers, Craig.
Cheers. We've got the Guinness, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
drinking. What am I drinking? The
Oh,
Maggie's Leap local IPA.
Oh, IPA. I don't drink Guinness back home. I don't like it, but
Cheers.
in Ireland, I'm fucking enjoying it. Excuse us while we take a swill. The only
6
problem with
pints
it,
later.
it's fucking messy because I've got quite a thick beard at the moment,
Oh, yeah, you got the froth.
and you need to wear a flannelette shirt so you can just wipe it on the sleeves. But anyway,
Pretty sure.
it's disgusting, but it tastes good. Very easy drink and very smooth.
It's good for this weather.
So yeah, what do you ride a Bullet back home? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I believe there's a bit of a story around that particular machine.
I was devastated about a year ago.
It's a chrome Bullet, isn't it?
It's a forest green,
Oh, forest green. Yeah, okay.
Enfield 500.
Yeah, they're a nice bike.
and I love it to death. I commute with it all the time, and I parked it. I do some part-time work at the children's hospital. I parked it at the.
Craig's a clown, by the way. Facts.
Fact, I'm a clown doctor or a part-time performer at the children's hospital,
Yeah,
which is a fantastic job in itself.
been doing
But-
that for a long time, eh?
Yeah, coming up 10 years.
Good
About
effort,
about exactly the same time I started doing
Yeah.
Nevermind trips.
mate. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But finish the story about the bike because I think
I've since discovered, well, actually, this was Fiona Stanley Hospital in Perth. For anyone who wants to park a motorbike there, apparently it's a supermarket for bike thieves. And I didn't know that at the time. I parked it in the normal bike spot, came out at the end of my shift. It had been, they'd broken the steering lock and ridden off. And you can just get out through the gates without paying for a
broad
ticket.
daylight.
Broad daylight, yeah.
Can't.
And I thought it was gone forever because if you were smart, you'd break it
Yeah.
down for parts because
Yeah.
they're bloody hard to get now,
Yeah.
and you'd
Yeah,
But so my insurance company paid me out,
yeah.
and then I'm trying to see if I could get a replacement, and you just can't
Yeah.
get a replacement of those bikes anywhere. Nobody who's got one wants to sell them. But about 2 months later, the cops in Rockingham found it. It was abandoned. It was pretty dented and scratched up. But I negotiated with the insurance company to buy it back for pretty cheap. But then it cost $4,000 in parts or something, and it's taken about a year at the mechanics before I got the bloody thing back.
Yeah.
So I've only just started riding it again,
Good.
and I'm
How
loving having it back.
how many Ks you got on that?
I think it's about 250.
250
Hang on.
or 2,500?
Sorry, yeah, but no, it's about 25,000 k's. Yeah.
25,000?
Hang on. 25,000.
Oh, 2,000. 25,000 or
25.
2,500?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember.
That's a big difference.
I can't get my head around what the numbers are.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Probably fucking 10,000 of those were done by the thieves. But no, it's all it's ended well. So and you've ended up on a 350 Bullet here in Ireland.
Yeah, so comfortable to ride around, and they're stable as anything.
Yeah. So
It's been good. I should. I've been talking to some of the other guys though. I should actually try and do a swap at some stage over a leg, just to try out the Himalayan and the...
Jump on one of those new Himalayan 450s. They're pretty special.
Yeah.
They're an incredible bike.
I haven't had a go at those yet. So
very nice.
If I get a chance.
You might not be able to go back. These arseholes in the bar have turned the music up on us. I hope everyone can hear us, but anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. You come to Belfast and you listen to this bloody American R&B pop music.
I haven't heard it. I was in London in Camden on the way over, and I stopped there for a night, and I went to a pub, and there was an Irish band playing. It was unreal. Thought this is what it's going to be like the whole way around, and I haven't heard any Irish music yet, except at the wake that I crashed.
I did actually find a pub.
Oh, you did
last
today?
night.
Last
yeah,
night, yeah.
Which,
I saw that.
But I had to find. It was a pub with nobody in it. It was like a old man's kind of lonely guys standing at the bar kind of drinking place. But three young teenagers were in the corner playing some traditional music on a button accordion and a guitar and like an Irish bagpipe whistle sort of thing.
I think Frankie's got a few places down on the south coast that she knows where we can maybe visit for some local cultural experiences. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's kind of cliche, but it's actually really nice when you hear the real stuff. It's good.
Oh yeah. Bit of bloody what instruments do they have? The Irish. Bit of banjo, bit of fiddle. I don't know.
Yeah, things like a tin whistle. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mandolins.
Bit of Pogue style stuff. Dirty Old Town.
Yeah, just sort of...
Water Boys. None of them it's like... Neither of those bands is Irish, actually. But they sound
No,
Irish.
the Pogues are English, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, tomorrow we head down to Wicklow's. Apparently a nice place. We're going to give Dublin a wide berth and
I've never heard of Wicklow. I've got no idea what I'm expecting there, yeah.
Don't tell anyone, neither have I. But we're going there. This is an exploration ride.
Yeah.
We're discovering as we go, but I've heard it's a... my research indicates that it's a top-notch venue. That's a good lot of history on the coast. So, but we're not going to ride down the coast. We're going to go straight down the guts.
Oh, okay.
And, see what's cooking.
Oh, good.
In Central Island. So we'll cross back in from Northern Ireland into Southern Ireland.
Yeah, mixing up
in the morning and see what happens. Big day though. So lay off the pints tonight. Get some sleep. So,
looking forward to it. I've had some good sleep. I was so tired the day that I got myself sick. Like I didn't sleep that night, and then we had a long ride the next day, and I actually had to pike. I got to a point where I was getting faint on every turn.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, you jumped in the van.
I started scaring myself. Really.
I wasn't expecting that on this trip.
No, and I was really disappointed. Like I wanted to hold on and keep doing it. You know, you sort of want to tough it out. Yeah. And I think I had a bit of an anxiety attack, thinking, I'm not gonna make it. Like I was.
You're overthinking the situation. That'll fuck you every time if you.
Yeah, and we got to a servo, and actually somebody said, "Mate, you're looking a bit pale. Are you okay?" And I just went, "No, I've got to pull the pin. I'm not safe to ride." So. So we did it. They managed to sort it out.
That's what the van's there for.
The van driver got on my bike, and one of the pillions got in the van, and I became a passenger, and I took about 15 minutes to chill myself out. And then
that was
I had
only
a nice,
the last
easy
hour of the
conversation.
day.
Yeah, it was the last 90 k's or something I missed.
Yeah.
So, but that was the best decision as well. Like, it would have been far worse to have done something stupid and run into a fence or something. You know.
What's been your favourite place so far in Ireland that we've been to?
Oh, good question. I mean, it's really nice to be in Belfast now, just because we've got the
cool city.
We've got the day off to actually explore it. Like we haven't had too many days. To,
it's all riding.
We get there late at night and we're off the next morning. So that's a bit of the downside of this sort of travel, is you don't stay in any one place too long. So this has been nice to have a. Mind you, today
it's a downside and an upside, because you make a cunt of yourself like I did in Dublin and crash a wake and request BGs and then play Stairway to Heaven on the guitar and walk out.
I wish I'd been there that night. I almost went into with you guys.
I was glad we got out of there the next morning. Never saw any of those guys again. But they thought it was funny. And it was completely unintentional, by the way. I wasn't being an arsehole.
No,
I was just ignorant.
I think they would have picked that. If they thought you were being a smart ass, then there might have been a blue. But I think that's their sense of humour. That's why they have the wake. They want to have fun and celebrate.
Yeah, they were singing and having a good time, a bit of dancing and that. It was all good. But so you've done quite a few rides with us.
Yeah.
Rajasthan. Probably 10 years
getting
ago.
Close to 10 years ago, because that's around when I was first looking to buy a
remember
bike,
that one.
and I happened to see your ad in the paper at the same time I was looking for second-hand bikes to buy. Mm-hmm. And thought, yep, and I love that trip so much that I did the inaugural ride you were doing to Nepal from
that was a good one.
from northern India up to, where was it? Upper Mustang.
Upper Mustang, Loma Thang, right up on the Tibet-China border.
And I think I've never been more scared in my life on some of those roads. Just, I'm not an off-road rider, and I'm not that experienced, and I certainly got a shitload of experience on that trip.
And that was before the Himalayas too. Like, we were riding the old Bullets.
It was Bullets all the way.
Yeah.
Which is why I then came back and bought a Bullet myself. I loved it. And then I did, about 5 years ago, I did a Vietnam trip as well. You went on that. It was led by Ben, I think.
Yep.
And
what's been your favourite?
Favourite trip?
Yeah.
Probably the Nepal trip, because that was the most exotic and out there.
It's funny, isn't it? It's like the hardest times are sometimes our favourite times.
But I came back from some of that Vietnam trip thinking I'd never been so scared in my life either. Like I keep topping it. Like this one's been a bit more cruisy.
Well, then saying that though, you did get a bit anxious and jump in the bus. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's a different experience.
I'm pushing different limits each time. Yeah. But I'm coming out on top of it, and I've loved every minute. Yeah, it's been great. I would have loved to have. I was pretty keen to do your Patagonia ride when I saw it, but I just couldn't swing the dates.
Yeah. No, it's always
still
next
on
year,
my bucket list.
February next year if you get keen. We'll keep doing that one, I hope. So it's a tough one to run. It's not. It's a difficult part of the world to operate.
Yeah,
but,
I can imagine.
Everyone loves it, so we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, and this trip's been good because pretty well everyone on this trip has done 3 or 4 trips with you or more, and several of the guys I've travelled with before, so I know at least 4 from other trips.
So you know Geo?
Yeah, Geo and Bob. And yourself and Anna on the trips,
Yep. Yeah, so that's always a bonus.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It's a great group though, isn't it? Like it's, everyone's good fun, low maintenance.
Yeah, and just simple things like, trying to negotiate your way into Belfast in the middle of a city, and just the way everyone's working as a team and doing the quarter markering. And
that blew me away yesterday.
It was really smooth.
Going into a CBD of a major city.
Yeah, it was a big...
didn't lose anyone.
Big undertaking, but it was all really well handled,
and that's testament. Everyone, by day, first day is a little bit shaky, but second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, everyone knows what they have to do and does it, and that makes it so easy, like it's, there's a few of us. And,
how many bikes have we got on the?
We've got 15 bikes on this trip, which is bigger than we normally run, but, being our first trip and we know everyone, we thought, we don't want to leave anyone out, So.
I was thankful because I think you were sold out when I first applied for it, and then you managed to squeeze a few extras in.
Yeah, had a few pull out late in the piece.
Yeah, and I was pretty grateful about that.
So that was it worked out well actually. Rajasthan, I'm going back to Rajasthan in November. Haven't done a Rajasthan trip since 2020, maybe 2019. So, and that was our most popular one. So that's going to be fun. Mixed it up a bit.
My sister and her partner have bought bikes since they've seen me having so much fun on these trips. So I'll see if I can push them into going. I think they'd love one of your trips. Yeah.
Sri Lanka's probably our most popular one at the moment too. Right. That's been great. Yeah. So Sri Lanka we didn't used to do before COVID, and then it's funny because it was kind of how Nevermind kicked off again after COVID.
Yeah.
It was all done and dusted, and then I'm working with a Sri Lankan bloke, and his family's in hotels in Sri Lanka, and got talking, and then next minute, there we are.
Yeah, good.
Big group of us riding around Sri Lanka. It was a big hit. That was February last year, and a few of those guys are here with us. Wayne and Carol, Bob. It's great.
Have you kept in touch with some of the Rajasthan crew?
Yeah. I spoke to. So I think did you have Angelo on your trip? Angelo.
Okay. So he was on the ride. I was wondering about like Naeem and some of the.
Everyone. Well, they're all. Shahid he's working for me. He's done Sri Lanka with us now.
Oh,
He was supposed to
right.
come to Ireland.
I didn't know that.
But
Okay.
his visa didn't come through in time. So instead of Frankie being here, it was going to be Shahid.
Oh, wow.
And then his visa didn't come through in
Oh,
time.
shame.
So, yeah, they're a little bit harder on Indian nationals than they are on. We don't need a
Yeah.
visa, us Aussies, but they don't let Indians just rock on in and, it's a process.
Yeah, I think they've got a
so-
big immigration problem.
and then I
or something
thought,
there.
fuck, who's going to drive the van? And
Oh, wow.
Frankie goes, I've got an Irish passport, It's like fucking perfect.
Yeah,
How
wow.
good's that?
Ah.
So glad that I've got her here.
She's been great.
She's
yeah,
fantastic.
Really organised.
Yeah. And then we can do stuff like this, podcasts and drone footage and all sorts of
the
stuff.
drone.
She's doing all
looking
that.
forward to seeing the drone stuff. That drone.
Imagine what
looks
that's going to be
amazing.
like,
We were
places
in
that-
some gorgeous scenery places. I could just
Oh.
imagine what it's going to look like.
pristine. It's like, fuck, I had no idea. I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be this good.
I can't believe the weather we've had.
Unreal. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to be freezing. Take you, it's going. Why would you want to ride an island?
Nah.
I'm sure it's got
We
shit
had,
weather, but
we had one little spit on us when we sort of crossed a bit of a hill range,
Yeah, much,
and by
yeah.
the time we got down the other side, we were dry again. It was, touch wood, it was still may rain on us, but I'm not scared of it. It's going to
who
be,
cares?
yeah, it's just been amazing.
We all got good. We've got gear and rug up and get on with it. Get into the pub and with a fire going and have a few pints of Guinness.
Yeah.
Warm up. Perfect. So, yeah, and so Nepal and then Vietnam. Vietnam's an interesting one.
Vietnam
isn't it?
was really cool as well.
Very, very different.
Yeah, there was a lot of off-road stuff because we were
Yeah.
really high in the close to the Chinese border, right across the top of North Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it was a place I would never have expected to go to, and we had a great guide there as well, who
Yeah.
sort of because of
Yeah, guys.
a bit more of a language
Yeah.
barrier there.
Yeah.
Well, that was, and the food's fantastic, and the people were fantastic.
Food is unreal.
Yeah.
What's your funniest story
Favorite story.
from a Nevermind trip? Well, you were there with when Felicity was on your trip, the Camel Safari.
Yeah, that's right.
Camel Safari. I got it.
Excuse me.
Do you remember that? So we got into Jaslamere
What was? Yeah,
about
it was,
5 or 6 at night, and we were like, it was pretty hot and dry and dusty. Second 2 days in the trip, and Felicity, she's like pretty short and feeble and in her 60s. She probably shouldn't have been on the ride. Lovely lady, and she ended up going pillion on back of one of the Indian guys because she just didn't.
Wasn't confident on
Honestly,
the
I
bike.
wouldn't take her booking now, but
Yeah.
if you listen to Felicity, it was great. And I tell this story a lot. It's, we all went up to the fort, had beers and some hash cookies and stuff, and having a giggle and dinner. And then she wanted to go back to the hotel. And Varesh,
Now
who
I
can't
remember.
speak a word of English, he goes, oh yeah, no, I'll take her back, basically. Gets in a tuk-tuk, goes there, takes her back, and comes back, yeah, it's all good, rah. And then we've had a few beers and we go back, and I thought, I better just check on her and knock on the door. She goes, yeah, come in. She goes, okay. She goes, no, it's all good. And I go, yeah, cool. She goes, oh, look, I just want to... I'll just mention this. Varesh was great. He really helped me out and everything. He's really kind, caring. But I think he got the wrong idea. He
Just trying to proposition her.
he got a little bit amorous with me. I'm like,
Really?
I don't know about it. Really? She goes, well, I tell me what happened. She goes, well, he helped me to the bed and gave me a bottle of water and then he was sort of standing at the bed trying to tell me something and I was getting a little bit anxious and he's like, he grabs his fist next to his waist and starts thrusting with his pelvis and he's pointing at me going, like grunting like that and she goes, I had to ask him to leave and I'm like, fuck, that's really unprofessional. I'll have a chat to him. And anyway, I went down and the boys were all having a beer out the front of the hotel, having a laugh, and I tell them the story. And Naeem, my Indian man, he just slapped him across the face. He goes, "Oh, you dirty bastard! What did you do?" And he goes, what? And they, in Hindi, explained it to him. And he just started, Varish, who was in the room, he started laughing. He goes, and he explained himself in Hindi, and Naeem just started wetting himself laughing. I'm going, all right, tell me what happened.
Tomorrow we're going on a camel safari.
He goes, yeah, well, you know how in the morning we go out to the desert, we ride the camels through the sand dunes. He was trying to tell her that we're going on a camel safari in the morning, but he couldn't speak English. She can't speak Hindi, so he was motioning. And she thought he was trying to fuck her.
So that became the euphemism. If you want to get some
so
action,
then
you're on a camel
we didn't
safari.
say anything to her for 3 or 4 days. I just said, look, I spoke to the boys. It's all taken care of. About 3 or 4 days later, we're sitting there having chai, smoko time, and in the middle of the desert somewhere, and after a bit of riding, and Naeem just walks up to her and he goes, Felicity, how was your camel safari? And she's doing the full motion, the hip thrust, and the penny dropped, and she just pissed herself laughing. She goes, you bastards. So, you have some funny moments, mate, so...
I've caught up with her once. She's from Perth. She lives out in the country a bit, but I worked for a theatre company. I'm a stage manager with a show, and we toured a show, and she saw the show and made sure she came up afterwards.
Yeah, she's lovely. Yeah, she's lovely.
But that's going back a while.
10 years. Yeah. But you get some characters along the way. So, what's next for you, Patagonia?
Oh, I'd be really keen, but Sri Lanka sounds great. I mean, I'd love to do another.
Yeah.
Just a different place, another adventure tour. Got to wait till the stars line up with finances and time and work and everything else. It might take me a bit longer than most, but I'd love to do it.
I think what I've seen with most people, and you do it as well, like you sort of like, you have a couple of years where you sort of, you go quiet, and then you're like, you'll give me a call, and they're like, fuck it, I'm just going to book it. And then, you make it happen.
Yeah, you make it work. Yeah, I had to pull some strings to get this one to work. But I've been keeping tabs. Like, every time I see a new thing on the Facebook page or whatever, it's I'll check that out. I like it. Or, make sure I'm, watching what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting the next couple of years, see where it all goes. So
that's great.
Thanks for coming back and supporting us and all that. It's
absolutely been a real pleasure. And we're not even halfway through the ride here yet, and I'm totally enjoying it. So
oh mate, that's the thing. It feels like we've already done 10 days.
We've done
road.
Heaps to get to this point. We're having a rest day, and it feels like
we literally have done half of the country too. It started the west coast, ridden right up north around the north coast, and then down the east coast, and we're probably. We could chop it in half, and we've done that half, and we've just got to do the rest of the east coast, the south coast, and then back up the west coast.
Getting close to about 1,000 kilometres or something, I think.
I have to be.
Yeah,
we're averaging about 250 a day, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then it's like 250 a day, but from A to B is about 150 kilometres if you go as the crow flies.
Yeah, my mum, there's looking on the map from Limerick to Galway. Look at that straight line. She thought, you might go. This is her father's surname was McNamara, so apparently they came from that area. You might be able to take a photo of that area, but I'm looking at the map. Of course, we didn't go from straight line up. We went out this way about 200 k's west, and then we went 200 k's northeast, and we zigzagged back, and we just totally bypassed it to follow the coast. But we never take a straight line anywhere.
That's how we roll, it's there's no fun in fucking taking the main road, is there? So.
No, even a couple of the dead ends. You travel down one end and you just go, we're going all this way just to sort of see something and turn around and come all the way back, and it's just gorgeous coming back as well.
It's I haven't had to backtrack too much, except for got stuck at that fucking road closed landslide yesterday.
Yeah, and we still managed to find
that was gorgeous
side road out of it.
Yeah. She didn't even have to backtrack hardly.
And it was still a pleasant ride, so you sort of can't lose if you're enjoying the ride.
It's an amazing country. Yeah. And just you're riding around, the ruins everywhere, like these ancient fucking castles, and it just really gets your imagination going. Yeah,
sort of like Middle Ages castle towers, but also just random farmhouse buildings, and they're all made of stone. The walls are still up, but they're crumbling, and there's no roofs. But they must be national monuments or something, because nobody's taken them apart. they just build up around them. So you see these suburban houses, and right in the middle of it is this stone ruin. It looks kind of odd, but it's magical.
Yeah, it's a mix of modern and historic. Like, and it's. I think that's one of the magical things about Ireland is just that mystery of the past. It's like, what the fuck were all these people doing? What were they up to? The Druids and the pagans and the fucking Celtics and the Vikings.
So much history and so much sort of mysticism.
You're riding through this land just looking at it going, my God, what went down here? You know, like these old castles and churches and, you know.
I've been amazed, actually. That's been astounding. Right from day one, before I'd even met you guys at the first hotel, I got here pretty early, and I'm just walking around the back, just having a bit of a sightsee, and there must have been about 30 people that I just passed walking in the park or the street.
Yeah.
Make a point of making eye contact, giving you a smile, saying, how are you doing? Lovely morning. Like, they
aren't
really
they the fucking
they make
nicest?
contact. They're really nice.
Yep.
That extends to the traffic. Like, the cars are so respectful to us as bikes.
To bikes,
see us all coming out of the corner, and they don't have to give way to us, but they stop and let us all travel through.
Yeah, I've noticed
They do everything to make sure we're travelling safe, which just wouldn't happen anywhere else.
I feel I could be I feel that the island part of Ireland, that's really, maybe because we're more country, but I found it super, even more friendly than over the northern part.
Yeah.
But then again, in saying that, it's been great. You're in a city, so you they're used to Aussies and stuff.
Even here, the pub, yesterday night, I'm going to the bloody men's room, and I'm just standing there at the urinal. Urinal.
The urinal.
Here I am. I've had too many beers already at the urinal.
That's all right. It's getting right into the culture.
And some fella starts up a conversation there. It's like, oh, where are you from? Oh, you're enjoying Belfast. Oh, it's the best city in the world, mate. And he's like, I'm having this fantastic conversation, but who strikes it up in the middle of a bloody toilet? It's bizarre.
Oh, I do sometimes.
But they're just automatically kind of friendly and want to chat to you and want to wish you a good day. And I've had a lot of time and respect for the people here. They've been great.
Yeah, me too. Like, I just love the place and the people. Yeah, just good senses of humour too. Like they, you know, like you get in a taxi and they just fucking, you know, there's everything, the stories they'll come out with. You know, like it's great. It's I've just had some great laughs, you know. So, yeah, it'd be sad to go home actually. But you're going on, aren't you, to the Isle of Man? I'm not going to the Isle of Man. No, I'm
okay.
going down to visit a friend in Cornwall, Penzance. So yeah, Shano's a good mate of mine we were surfing together down in South Africa back in 1998, 89. It's not 89, 99, 98. That's something around there anyway, a long time ago. And I met him out in the surf, and we've been mates ever since. And he come and live with me in Geelong for a while, 6 months or something. And I've lived at his place and been over with the kids, and he's been over with the kids, and just we've always stayed in touch. And
cool.
Said, well, I'm going to come and sponge off you for a week or two. He's like, you beauty, I'm going to stack the fridge full of Stella Artois.
Yeah, chance to relax after the
tour. A few beers. Yeah. So I thought, it's probably more my thing than. I'm not a mad motorsports fan. I was like, while I'm here, probably more important for me to go and catch up with some family, I guess, friends and that.
Yeah, so. I'd be interested in the event, but I'm not super keen on.
Yeah, a day or two would be enough for me.
Yeah,
but it's like you go there, you're going to go for a week.
Yeah, and I figured it'd be pretty expensive, and it's just an extra.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Extra tour that I didn't need to. Yeah, I need to get home and get back to work, but. No, quite a few people on this trip are doing it though.
Yeah, probably half of them. Yeah, so we've got a full house and about 4 hotel rooms booked. So there's a few.
Yeah, I think it was all on their bucket list already. So they're pretty keen to make it work.
Yeah, motorsport, bikie, bogans. That's what it'll be. It'll be good. Yeah, and they're all catching up with a few of our other we've got a few of our guys that are from like Manchester and the UK and that, and they're all meeting up with these guys over at Isle of Man and that. So good to see. It's great to see those connections and people catching up. And after they've all been on Patagonia together or different rides, Sri Lanka and that. So it's they're like, oh, you're going to Isle of Man? Oh, fuck, well, we're going to go as well. We'll catch up with you there.
You're starting to get a real Nevermind community, international group that paying attention.
It's funny because what we offer's you know, what is it? You know, like, how do you describe it? You know, like, you know, I saw a thing. There's a brewery on Facebook that, you know, they've got super passionate. They were going out of business and they were liquidating, and their customers love their brand and their business so much. The customers all chipped in and bought it.
Yeah,
I was reading about it this morning. I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. But they're just making beer. You know, it's like, I'm like, what we're doing's something, you know, how do you describe? We don't have a product or anything really. It's like it's almost a culture or a vibe.
It's an experience.
You're
selling an experience, but
yeah.
it's intangible, isn't it? You can't promise the experience until you've had it.
Yeah.
You've just got to go on word of mouth and what it was like last time.
Yeah, how do you sell that?
How do you sell that? Well, this tour, you've got virtually everybody on the tour has already been on 3 or 4 tours, so that's pretty telling. That's a testament. Yeah, we all loved it so much we want to do it again. We don't want to go with another operator. Yeah.
How do we scale it? Can't. No.
I think, well, that's when it becomes a bit more like a bloody Kentucky tour. When it goes super scale, then it becomes less appealing. I think the smaller scale is actually... It's got to be a balance where it is small, it feels personal.
Yeah.
And you can...
Oh, it's personal, all right. I live with you guys for weeks at a time. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. You learn exactly who snores and who doesn't.
Guys, there's a lot of snoring going on in this trip. I highly recommend, if you book a trip, our tours are booked twin share, so there's 2 single beds in a room. Pay the single supplement, get your own fucking room. Yeah, it's not that much extra.
Yeah,
just do it.
Invest in some good bloody noise-cancelling headphones.
Just go the single supplement. Although, also in saying that, like, I've seen heaps, you know, on just as equally, where, you know, people have come along and they're twin sharing with someone they've never met before in their life, and they've gone, fuck, I would have never, you know, they become really good friends, and they're like, I would never have, you know, struck up that friendship if it wasn't for sharing a room. So, you know, it's good to see those bromances, not just bromances, you know. What's the opposite of a bromance for, like, the feminine version? Yeah, a fromance. But, you know, that's cool to see too, you know. Like, it's like, yeah, you get to know each other very well, you know. So, yeah, but anyway, I think we've got a very exciting week ahead of us.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you, Craig, for your time and having a chat to us.
Yeah,
it's been wonderful to talk to you, and I'd like to do it again sometime, actually, like when we're not on the road, so I can really dig deep and get your demons out. But Belfast is not the place for it. So, thanks for sharing your stories, your trials, your tribulations, your lost key. Oh, yeah.
Your
anxiety.
No one's ever going to let me let that down, but at least when you look back, it's not that big a tribulation, really. Like, it got sorted, but yeah.
It's not a fucking problem at all, mate.
Yeah.
So, any final words of advice to the punters out there listening?
Oh, just that I recommend. Like, I'm not. I mean, I think a lot of your riders are pretty experienced on motorbikes. They're kind of, you know, they probably do adventure tours. I'm not. I'm not that. Well, I'm much more confident now since doing a couple of your tours, but I was never that confident a rider. I was never that sort of confident an explorer. Like, I wouldn't have done one of these tours on my own. You know, I'm not that sort of traveller. But this has given me so much more confidence and skill on the bike as well. Like, I got a lot out of all the tours you've done. So it's possible for, you know, you don't have to be a hard-bitten kind of, you've been riding since you were 12 sort of thing.
We've got everything in this group too. We've got, you know, Jane and Leanne, they're in their 60s. You know, we've got guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s. You've got Stag, who's a giant of a man in his
I won't lie, it's certainly going to be a challenge. Like, it's not an easy sort of trek, but you feel looked after. You feel like, okay, if something goes pear-shaped, then there'll be a plan B. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confidence in
and
that as
you've
well.
put us to the test a few times, Craig.
Well, you know,
we've had to go to Plan B a couple of times.
Yeah, okay. Plan C for Craig. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's awesome. We love having you along, mate.
I
love you.
It. Thanks very much.
You've been a big support to us, and We look forward to many adventures in the future.
Good. Oh yeah, and I'm going to. We'll have to publish the limerick collection.
So Craig is has every day, several times a day sometimes, has posted a limerick about our island trip. So we want to, maybe we can record them. We'll work something out. They're not going to waste, mate. They're fucking gold. He's a talented, creative human being, and you know, they're rare in this world, and
once
becoming
we get
rarer.
to the end, there'll be a collection, and we'll publish them all in one hit. So
That'd be
you can
fantastic.
Read about the tour in.
I keep writing
in traditional Irish poetry limerick style.
I keep coming up with them, but mine are too crude to put in to share. Like it's like, you know.
No, go for it.
No, I can't. I won't even. I won't even. My latest one, I can't even talk about it in the podcast because it's too dark. Like it's So I'll tell you afterwards when we sign off. But it's it's about a member of our group.
Yeah, I've thought about writing a poem for everyone in the group, but it's too dangerous, mate.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah,
too dangerous. You'll be sued.
Yeah. No, you won't get sued by anyone here. They've had plenty of opportunities. All right, let's sign off. Thank you, Craig. We got
Thank you.
Indonesia coming up in October. I've got a few spots on that. We got Rajasthan sold out, and we've got Sri Lanka in. The Rajasthan's November. Sri Lanka's October.
Yeah, wow.
So if you get keen, we'll get you on that one. But jump on board, people.
There'll
Thanks
be another
for listening.
one for sure, but I don't know when. But yeah.
Thanks for listening, and and there's Ireland next year. If you like what you're hearing, just book it. Sayonara,
Recommend it.
motherfuckers.
Never mind the noise. Chase the adventure.